I'm attempting to kind of replace the fire chief's update because so many people have said that reading it in email format is just not how a modern learner really takes in information. So I am trying to adapt. So today is the beginning of that. Once a month I will come on to this format and kind of walk through the strategic issues that I see are pressing us at this time. I also have a deputy chief with me, and today I'll have Russ Carnes covering a few minutes also. I am going to start my time because I do want to make this brief and direct, and it's easy for some reason to talk about these things in an elongated manner. So first thing I wanted to talk about was what happened during August and September. I think for all of your leadership team, administrative staff, we are just very thankful for the efforts that the entire organization put in to address this significant fire event that hit us. We had to go into a level we haven't since I've been here, which is calling a general alarm, which is basically the all y'all, we need help. And people came in. It's not convenient, I know that. I've come in on those alarms. And not only that, we were in a heavy smoke event through this that I think challenged all of us, much less with wearing face masks and having it as hot as it was. So I really wanted to tell you thank you. I think the entire organization performed above and beyond. I couldn't be more proud of you. I wanted you to know there's a couple of things that were tested during it. One is the operation of our department operating center and our ability to take over dispatch functions. In the middle of the chaos, believe it or not, South Sound 911 lost its ability to dispatch because we've been working on creating this DOC concept to not only handle dispatch, but to prioritize calls. We were able to effectively maintain a service level within our organization, just astounding. We also helped many of our partners, Graham and East Pierce, just did not have the resources, obviously, and we greatly supplemented them and brought back people in order to cover our own risk. That was a crucial element. The second one is having what we're calling a duty chief, and this is a strategic asset that we have implemented that involves a chief officer who's not tactically deployed, but whose main mission and function is to look over what is occurring across Central Pierce strategically and assuring that we are bringing in assets or moving assets, doing what it takes to maintain a service level, even if it's at its lowest level. How do we utilize the resources we have? What resources do we need to bring in because of either a major one event or because of multiple smaller events? So both of those together were a great success for the organization. Again, extremely proud. Both of those functionalities, just to make sure it's clear, our intent is because we need responders going on calls and solving community-based problems. That's what you're doing, and it's the supportive network of that is so essential for us in these extraordinary times. So thank you. The second one I wanted to talk about is really our COVID-19 circumstances. I don't know about you, and I'm sure beyond me, I think we're all getting weary of wearing masks, having to respond with APRs, full face APRs, on and on and on. And it's challenging. It's getting to where obviously the newness is gone, and the challenge of it is maintaining the diligence that we need to protect you and to protect your family and to protect the people that work around and with you. I just got to say, this is where it matters. This is where the tests of our character and our true grit come in. And for me, it's a test of patience. I have to watch myself. My temper can flare at times because it's frustrating. I just got to say, yours is much more challenging. I know that. All of the leadership team knows that. We are looking for ways to try to moderate that for you. We are simply having to comply with the governor's directives. We know that wearing a full face APR is challenging. It's getting old, so we are looking at alternatives. We are also open to hear from you items that might make things a little better as long as we don't compromise your safety. If there's something that we're imposing that doesn't make sense, we want to hear about it. We may respond with, no, we have to do it because of this. But we are open to how can we achieve the goal to make your life a little bit more reasonable. I can't imagine having to function as a firefighter responding on calls the way that you're doing so now. I remember when the AIDS crisis hit in the early 80s, and prior to that, we didn't wear gloves, we didn't wear face protection, we had nothing. And the department mandated that we wear gloves because there was a new health requirement. And you know, we actually struggled with it. I struggled with it. And at the end of the day, obviously we had to do it and it made sense. But it wasn't an easy transition. What I do know is this is much more invasive to you. It's harder. I respect your diligence. I respect your steadiness. I ask for you to be vigilant now, be careful now. All of the government sources are saying we should be seeing an uptick over the winter. Our risks are going to be increasing potentially. So I appreciate your work. I just wanted you to know that I think your administrative staff wants to hear from you. We understand the plight that you're in. We thank you for taking this effort as strong and seriously as you have, and we've got to maintain that at this time. So thank you again. The next item I wanted to hit is actually elections. As you can imagine, I'm smiling underneath my mask, by the way. Isn't that the biggest challenge, at least for me? One of the things that I do is I try to look and read people as I talk, or as they're talking to me so I can understand them, and not having that is like, it's removing every interpersonal skill that I know of, right? But it is what it is. But we're up to an election season, and it has already been fairly controversial. We've had social unrest this summer. I don't know what's going to happen as a result of the election, either way. What I do know is it's controversial. I know that people have very strong and high opinions, and it's a very polarizing time. And what I wanted to stress for us is when we walk through the door to come to work, we're here as public servants, and we have to work as a team together. There are times where we have to take our strong opinions and submit those strong opinions for that period of time in order to do the public service as a team. And I just wanted to hit two values as we're walking down this road. And it doesn't matter which side you're on, which person that you're advocating for. And I respect the due process that we have in our nation. I'm glad that we have people with differences of opinion that can hopefully civilly discuss them. I think we've lost a lot of that, but we can't lose it here at Central Pierce. And the two values that I wanted to hit, the first was respect. And it starts with being tactful, right time, place, and topic, right? So, and tactful really deals with considering how the other person's going to receive it, and I'm not here just to make a point. The second one is to use candor. You know, there's a place to be fairly direct, but we want to do it timely, and again, to the point, about the point, and not the person. Talk only about what you know to be true. I don't know about you, but it doesn't matter which side of the aisle. When I just do some facts checking, and I'm not Mr. Facts Checker, I just find things to be marginalized, minimalized, or sensationalized at times. And it doesn't matter which side of the political spectrum it's on. Listen to the news. You know, the news seems to become a place of editorializing instead of factual Walter Cronkite telling us the day's events. We have to be careful about those things. We have to know that we are accurate in our rendition and not just repeating something that we've heard or being very strong about something that we've heard. Facts are important. We need to be professional, and that includes the concept that we need to manage ourselves. These are emotional things. I understand that. You feel very strongly about it. I feel pretty strong about it. But we are professionals here within the fire district, and it's essential for us to be a team, to meet our mission. You realize if we have a lot of rancor occurring because of the divisiveness of politics today, we will lose a focus on our mission. We will lose our purpose, and we just can't do that. The last item under respect is discuss principles, not politics or personalities. So that's part of our values here. We're not here to talk politics, right? Principles are good, but we're not here to come at people or to engage in this arena in a manner where people in any way feel uncomfortable. If you're employed here, you have an equal right to be here, to be respected, and to really feel the sense that you belong. Because everybody here belongs, regardless of your political spectrum. So respect was number one. The second one was the concepts of compassion and selflessness. And it really involves demonstrating empathy. Actually, this is a really hard one for in this political climate. And the reason why I'm touching my phone here is because it's where my timer is. I'm trying to stay on time. But so demonstrating empathy, and then the concept that we're not seeing a lot of is actually active listening. You know, we don't see a lot of the rhetoric that's occurring around, no, I really need to hear and understand what you're saying so that I know how to respond. That's just not occurring. But we need to have that in our organization. And then, of course, placing duty before self. We are here to serve our citizens. That is our duty. We come second. Our opinions come second. And then lastly, commit to humility and dignity. It's interesting, both of those terms. Humility really expresses this. You know what? I really don't know it all. I know that my rendition of things is not perfect. I'm willing to hear and listen and understand. Doesn't mean that I'll agree, but I know I'm not perfect, and I know my view changes. If you looked at my views 30 years ago, I'm a different person today, and so are you. And so that's humility. And dignity really deals with this concept that the person that I'm hearing something I don't like what they're saying, I respect the essence of their humanity, and I honor it as much as mine, and that we're of equal worth regardless. Why would I trample on that dignity? And so as we walk into this political environment, I'd ask for you to look at those values. Think about how we should be treating one another. And certainly things are going to come up. But really it's a value to us. Let's not get into the politics very long. Let's stay on mission. Let's do what we're here to do to serve our community. There's plenty of times and opportunities to do that away from here. So I'd ask for you to consider those perspectives. Lastly, I did want to hit the budget status. We are working on the 2021 budget. As you know, we've taken a very conservative approach with the 2020 budget. We've actually paused issues, waiting to see what the outcome of is occurring within our economy. The one thing that makes me become very conservative is when some of the leading economists that I listen to, and I listen to them when I work out, I listen to them on my drive, just because of the risk in our economy now. None of them know where we're going to be in the springtime. We have a major election. There's this concept that COVID might kick up again. There's just a lot of things that are unknown. Unemployment is still high. What does that mean 6 months from now? And most people are saying, we don't know. And so we're being conservative, and we're doing the same with the 2021 budget. We are really looking at taking what is essential to function moving forward, and then we're having a second group that are more deferred items. If the economy stabilizes and we have enough in reserve, and at the end of the day our commissioners are comfortable with bringing some additional items in. And these aren't items that are like, do we need that? We need these items. They include some personnel dealing with public education, fire planner, on and on. These are things that we should have for a department our size. In fact, maybe when it comes to public education, more than one. But again, we've paused because we simply need to be conservative at this time. But some of the things we are going to bring to the commissioners to move forward with rapidly is our EMS systems design. We need to get that accomplished. We actually had a vendor selected. They were uncomfortable coming in, and then through the summer it became a great challenge just because of COVID's restrictions, et cetera. We think we may have an ability now to work around some of those issues, or hopefully, as we approach this, we're able to work more face-to-face if that's possible. If not, Zoom. Seems like I have many meetings on Zoom now, but we need to move that forward. We have a GEMT funding that's coming in. We have the ability to make an impact into our response system, but we just need to do it wisely and surgically, and so I'm pressing forward to accomplish that. We're also at a place of capacity. I don't think we can really start it up until the first of the year, but we can certainly get a vendor selected so that we can start early January. Right now, EMS is very busy with getting our records management system change implemented. It's a major body of work that will impact you also. And so our budget, it'll be a conservative year. We're doing well. We have both from our assessed value increased by 9.1%. Remember, our budget can only increase by a maximum of 1% for taxation, but that gives us the cushions that really make us a little more comfortable as we move forward. So with that, thank you. Again, I'll be coming forward, taking about 15 minutes of your time, hitting the bigger issues once a month, and now I turn it over to Chief Carnes. Thank you. Or should I say the rock star?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to point out I get to go old school with the microphone here, so pretty excited about that. Want to touch on a couple things. Some of them are similar to what Chief Olson spoke on. First, I'd like to start off thanking everyone for all of your work. The week September 7th was truly a defining week for Central Pierce. I've never been involved in a week that had that many challenges, incidents, and issues, and truly the members of Central Pierce rose to the occasion and really did an awesome job. So thank you to everyone. Really appreciate it. Next, I'd like to touch on real quick our stations, kind of some of our stations, the status, where we're going, what we're doing. So as most of you know, we're moved into the new station. Sorry about that. We're moved into the new station 7-2. It's going really well. Again, thanks to all the folks that are there that have worked hard to make that a success. It's really going good. So station 7-3. As most people know, I think most of you know, we're currently looking at the Armory property in downtown Puyallup. We have an agreement to go ahead and purchase the Armory property down there. We have a meeting later this month, or I'm sorry, 1st of October, to go ahead and meet with the staff that would bring us to obtain that land. So we'll be going over where we're going with that, but the Armory property down there in the southeast portion of the city, Station 7-3. It looks like it'll be opened up to spring of 21, and lining everything up that we can so that as soon as we have the property available to us, we can go ahead and move forward, not spend a bunch of time with the dirt, just get going on the thing. And then lastly, a new Station 6-6. We've been working with a real estate agent attempting to locate some land in or around the area of 144th and Meridian. That looks like it needs to be the place that it would go, or best serves us, our citizens, our response model. So currently we have Jerome. He's the individual we've worked with for years, quite a while. He's out looking to obtain some land in or around that area of 144th from Meridian to give us that better response between Station 69, the new 7-2, and then the backside of Station 6-8. So that's kind of what's going on with new stations. Old stations, Station 7-2, AC Stevie, he has the old Station 7-2 right now will be used primarily for vehicle storage. Some people know, or some people don't know, The old North Puyallup station, we no longer have vehicles stored there. So those vehicles will be stored at the old Station 7-2. And then the old Station 66, logistics is going to move in there. So that'll house the logistics AC, Assistant Chief Stevie, Captain Getner, maintenance personnel for the building maintenance, Kyle Ketter and BJ. And then it'll allow them an area, be able to move out of 6-8, have a more defined area, give them more room to go ahead and store the materials and equipment that they have. And then also the apparatus bays for reserve vehicles and turnkey vehicles. So that's it on stations. And then lastly, to go ahead and also kind of tack on to one of the things Chief Olson had mentioned, COVID. We understand it's getting old. We get it. And, I don't think an apology is necessary, but we do understand the added stress that it puts everyone under. Again, these aren't things that we as a fire district have come up with. They aren't things that we as your leadership have said it sounds like a great idea. These are things that are mandated, and they're mandated by agencies above us, and they've mandated these things to us, and that's why we carry them out. We currently have Assistant Chiefs Bouchard, McKenzie, and Stevie working on our PPE standard right now. What is it that we can do differently? What is it that we can do better? A lot of things that we did to react to a situation and to a standard that was put in front of us immediately. And I think previously Deputy Chief Stevie made it clear that we didn't spend a lot of time with research. We didn't have the opportunity to go ahead and seek out what would be necessarily the best or most convenient for our crews. It was what we had to do at the time. And right now we are coming back to work on exactly that. What's out there that's better? What's out there that's easier for you folks to use? What's out there that meets a standard but is more comfortable? So that's currently actively going on. Unfortunately, we don't see this level for PPE dropping off anytime soon. It seems as though this is probably something that's going to be here for a while. And so now that we're dug in, we want to make sure that we go ahead and get the best that we can for each and every one of you. And that's going to conclude my portion of it. So thank you.
So with that, I want to thank you for listening to this broadcast today. If there are items that you would like to have me address in the future that are just of interest or you're concerned about, please send an email so that I can at least prioritize them. Again, 15 minutes goes quick, but thank you for listening. Have a good day.